Well, hello fishing friends. This is Matthew. I'm doing a follow-up video on the Zebco 154, the Omega 154. This is an underspin closed face spinning reel, and I have problems with the spinner cone. Let me show you what happened. And here's the spinner cone, but it's missing the entrapment washer or grommet here. So I've got a solution. We're going to try it. If this works, this is the fix for many of you that have a similar reel or an older reel that has the same problem with the entrapment grommet or rubber ring that goes around there. Let me show you. There is no way I'm going to repair this. I took it in and started washing it off, and it is so fragile. It's just falling apart. I mean, look at that. It just busted. I mean, it's just so fragile. So there's no way I'm going to be able to repair this piece right here and get it back together where I'll be able to even feel safe, like I could even fish with it. So I've got to come up with something else. Is to go down to the hardware store and find me a black rubber O-ring that will fit just right around there. That's big and fat like this. That will, when I push up against there, it will trap the line between there and here, and that will be. And then I could take and super glue it on there, making sure that I don't get anything on there. I think that that's probably going to be one good idea. I wish that was screwed in there instead of riveted. So I just got back from the hardware store. I took my spinner cone down there, and I was looking for a big rubber washer, not a rubber washer, but an O-ring. But what I found instead, I think might work better. What it is it's a big grommet, and basically it's about the size that I want it. It's about 1.5 inches. And I can take it on my power sander and sand it down a little bit so it's a little bit smaller. But essentially what I think I can do, let's see how thick this is. 0.20. And how thick is this? 0.24. It's a little bit thicker. And so I could take and sand this so this is a little bit flatter on this side. I could make it sanded here, but the good thing is when I think that when this smashes up against there, this will kind of bend in a little bit. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take and clean off the surface here and rough it up a little bit with some fine sandpaper. I have some contact cement. And so I feel like if I rough this side up here with my belt sander, rough this up a little bit with some fine sandpaper, I don't want to rough it up too much, and then glue this on here just perfectly, I can repair my spinner wheel and have it still function and be able to use it for fishing. Okay, I'm back. So here's what I did with my little grommet. I have a belt sander, and I was able to thin it out a little bit so that it's 0.20 of an inch thick, which is the same thickness that this is. And then I ground on the outside so that it's closer to 1.5 inches. It's still a little bit wider, but that's okay. And then I put a bevel on it. You can see that bevel right there. And so that kind of matches the bevel that's on here. So now what we need to do is clean this up. I'm going to sand it with I got a little piece of sandpaper here, some fine grit sandpaper. And I just want to take and just barely rough this surface up, just so that the glue has a better chance of really sticking in there. And then I'm going to clean it off with some brake cleaner on paper towel to make sure I remove any grease off of here, because this is all it's going to really be sticking to. Contact cement will have a better chance of really bonding it on there good. This is really good and clean. The idea here is to put it on both surfaces, let it dry. So we're not going to need very much, and we don't want to get any in that spot there, so we're just going to spread this around. Get close to it, right around it. Okay, let's let that dry really well. Put some contact cement on this surface. Okay, we're going to let that dry. Okay, this has had plenty of time to dry. Let's carefully put it on there and get it to stick good. So the trick is to get it centered as best as you can. Looking good. Okay, let's really stick it on there. Hey, that's looking really nice. Okay, that's sticking on there really well. Yeah, that's nice. I mean, that's not going anywhere, and try pulling it off, and that's on there pretty tough. I mean, what it's going to be doing is spinning around. Okay, let's see if it will cock. Okay, it's in a cock position, which means it can release the line just perfectly. You know, see the pin is in. So there it comes out. Nice. Let's I'm going to spool some line up on this, and we're going to give it a shot. So I got some line I want to put on here, and we'll put it on a pole. I'll show the pole I'm going to put it on, and I think that's going to be great. So I'm going to go ahead and spool this up with some casting monofilament. It's an 8-pound test, and it's this high vis, because I'm going to use this for my stream fishing on the Provo River. Go. Okay, you want enough resistance on your line that it doesn't go on there loosely. If it goes on there too loose, And what can happen is, as you cast out and reel in, your line will get embedded in your spool. Yeah, the reel is working really nicely. Okay, well, I've got some line on it now. I put that 8-pound test on there. I got it mounted on this old vintage pole, and I got a little weight on the end so we can try it out and test that new line break. Seems to be working good. Let's go give it a shot out in the yard. The brake holds it just fine. That's a pretty heavy weight. It's like a half-ounce weight, 3/4, 1-ounce weight. Drops it just fine. It starts reeling in really nicely. Good little cast. Oh yeah, it casts nicely. This is going to be a great reel. I'm going to take this out and start fishing with it right away on the Provo River. I like this old rod. Kind of goes with it. I'm not sure what brand it is, but yeah, this is nice. And it reels in nicely. I pulled the pin out on the pickup pin. I pulled it out just a tad bit, like probably a 32nd of an inch, to make it grab the line a little bit faster. So yeah, it's working great. Anyways, thanks again for joining me. That was a pretty cool fix. Worked out awesome, and I'm really happy with the way this 154 turned out. So if you liked the video, make sure you give me a big thumbs up and subscribe by pushing on the button right over there, and help me get my channel to 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible. I'd like to get there in the next month or two. A month would be great. So it's growing every day. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. I hope you enjoy the videos. Put any comments below. Bye.